Hello students, and welcome you all again. In previous lecture we have seen what is metallurgy and various branches of metallurgy. In today's lecture we will see what is the actual syllabus of this metallurgy subject. Now to you it is having an ESE of 70 marks, that is theory paper for 70 marks, IC for 30 marks, ICA 25 marks, and it is having an oral exam which is of 25 marks. And the course introduction we will see in short now. In last lecture we have seen that introduction course. Now this metallurgy is an art of extracting the pure metal from its ore. Now its scope is in mixing of two or more metals to form an alloy, or shaping the metals and alloys by different processes such as casting, forming and joining, undergoing the suitable heat treatments for modifying the properties, and finally in inspection and testing before the putting products into actual use. So this is the full scope of this subject, and this you will observe in the syllabus content also. Now course prerequisite, that means before studying this course you must have some basic knowledge regarding the engineering chemistry, workshop practice and manufacturing processes. Now from engineering chemistry you must know what are the different types of elements, what are different types of materials, and what are various processes such as polymerization process, what is the various reactions which are required for the metals. In workshop practice and manufacturing processes you must know what are the various manufacturing processes to produce the components such as casting, forging, forming, etc, etc. So this is a course prerequisite, and that you have studied previously in second year also. Next, that is course objective. Now to make the student proficient in, before studying you must before studying this actual syllabus of metallurgy you must know what are the course objectives and course outcomes from the course. And from this course of metallurgy you should have an objective to get the knowledge of structure, composition, properties, application of materials and their selection in design purpose. So you must understand the structure, composition, properties of various materials so that you can use in actual applications very precisely. Next, testing of the materials and its significance. You must have an objective to study the testing methods of the metals as well as its significance. Next, heat treatment processes for different engineering materials. Now you must understand the heat treatment processes which are used for different engineering materials so that they can be used in the various actual applications with required properties. Powder metallurgy process and composite materials with its application. Now in this syllabus you are having the powder metallurgy and composite materials in separate chapters. You should have an objective to study these powder metallurgy and composite materials and its application. Now these are the objectives of study of this metallurgy subject. Now the course outcomes. After studying this subject you must get the following knowledge. The students should be able to select a ferrous alloys and demonstrate the significance of heat treatment process for engineering applications. Students should be able to establish the characteristics of non-ferrous alloys and composite materials as well as nanomaterials also, because in our syllabus nano material chapter is also there. So you should be able to characterize the composite material as well as nanomaterials. Next, students should be able to select the suitable testing methods and implementation of powder metallurgy for the manufacturing of products. You are having the testing methods for metals, various testing methods, destructive as well as non-destructive. So students should be able to select the suitable method for various applications, which method is useful for which product, and also students should be able to implement the powder metallurgy for manufacturing of the product. So these are the basic objectives and outcomes of our course. You should be known priorly these objectives and outcomes so that after studying this subject you must be able to do all these things. Now the actual syllabus contains 6 chapters. In section 1 3 chapters and in section 2 again 3 chapters. From that first chapter is Introduction to Ferrous Alloys. Now you know that what are the alloys. Alloys are the metallic materials prepared by mixing the two or more molten materials, and they are used for many purposes such as construction and other purposes. They are used for transportation and electric industries also. So how these alloys are prepared, particularly the ferrous alloys, that we will study here, as well as we will study in this chapter iron carbon system, which is used for various maximum applications, iron carbon diagrams, because from that only we are getting various products such as cast iron as well as steels, various types of steels, and it is having a tremendous application in industries. That's why this system is very important, that we will study in this first chapter. Again, this study we will do because the steel consists of a greatest amount of metallic material used in the actual practice, as well as solid state transformation that occurs in the steels are varied and they are very interesting. That all transformations we will see in this chapter. The actual syllabus for this chapter is brief classification of metals, concept of alloying, classification of cooling curves, types of equilibrium diagram, again construction of equilibrium diagram, lever rule, what is lever rule, that we will see. Then solid solution and their types, iron and carbon equilibrium diagram, this is the heart of this subject that we will study in this first chapter. Plain carbon steel, its composition, application and properties, effect of alloying elements on steel. On steel, if you add some alloying element percentage, then it will form some different composition as well as some different output product. That will depend on your alloying element. Now alloy steels such as a tool steel, stainless steel with a composition, properties, application, that we will see in this chapter. Types of cast iron, composition, properties, application, specification and standards used for steel. All these things are covered in this first chapter, Introduction to Ferrous Alloys. Second chapter, heat treatments of the steel. Now how to prepare that steel, that composition, that iron carbon diagram we will see in first chapter, and in second chapter few heat treatment processes on that steel we will study. Heat treatment processes are required for getting the desired properties on the steel. Sometimes we require the outer surface of that steel material to be very hard and inner portion to be very soft. So all these things can be done by the surface hardening or case hardening treatments. So these treatments also we will study in this chapter. So the actual syllabus in that chapter is TTT diagram for the eutectic steel, CCT and CCR diagrams, heat treatment definition, concept, objectives of heat treatment. Then we will study the main types of the heat treatment process such as annealing, normalizing, hardening, tempering. The definition of purpose, types of all these four types, that is annealing, normalizing, hardening and tempering. We will also here see in this chapter the concept of hardenability in brief, its objective and types of tempering. Also we will study the surface hardness treatments, and or it is also called as a case hardness treatments in this chapter. So this is also very interesting and important chapter as far as syllabus is concerned. Next, third chapter, it is somewhat advanced and very good research is going on in these two things, that is introduction to composite and nanomaterials. So in that, composite materials and nanomaterials are studied in short, because overview of these two things will be given in this chapter. In detail study, actually it is a research is going on both these things. Firstly, the composite material, we will see definition, concept, advantages, limitations and classification of these composite materials. In detail we will see the classification of composite material, then their properties and applications of this composite material. Next, nanomaterials, here also we will see the concept and applications of these nanomaterials, then the effect of particle size on mechanical properties. Now one thing for nanomaterial, that is if you get the particle size very smaller up to nanoscale, the particle is having certain different properties than actual element. So this thing we will study in the nanomaterial, and the effect of that particle size on mechanical properties of the component we will see. Then the inspiration from nature about the nanotechnology. Now this nanotechnology thing is very old, because in day-to-day applications also many applications are there that are based on this nanotechnology. That all we will see in this third chapter, that is introduction to composite and nanomaterials. Second section, first chapter is introduction to non-ferrous alloys. In this chapter we will see the non-ferrous alloys. Previously in first chapter we have seen the ferrous alloys. Here we will see the non-ferrous alloys. In that detail we will see about the copper alloys and aluminum alloys. Phase diagram for that copper alloy, brass, bronze, and phase diagram for the aluminum alloys, that is aluminum silicon alloys and aluminum copper alloy, that we will see. Again we will also study some other non-ferrous alloys such as the solder material and babites. We will also focus on the introduction to fusible alloys, their specification and standards used for copper and aluminum alloys. So these things we will study in the introduction to non-ferrous alloys. This is the fourth chapter. Next, fifth chapter is regarding the mechanical testing of metals. Now you know that every metal need to be tested for its defects as well as for finding some properties. Now for finding the properties we are generally using the destructive testing methods, and these, what are the destructive testing methods, that we will see in this chapter. Some 5 types of destructive testing method we will see, that is a tensile testing, hardness testing, impact testing, creep testing, and fatigue testing. In destructive testing methods, generally the component or specimen which is used is generally destructed, that's why the name suggests destructive testing. And the second part in this chapter is a non-destructive testing, study of non-destructive testing methods, that is NDT methods. In that also we will study the 5 types of NDT method, that is a dye penetrant test, second magnetic particle test, third ultrasonic test, fourth radiography test, and fifth is eddy current test. So these non-destructive testing methods are generally used for finding the defects in the component, and destructive testing methods are generally used for finding the properties, different properties of the metal. So these two things we will study in the chapter number 5, that is mechanical testing methods. Next chapter, that is last chapter in this syllabus, is introduction to powder metallurgy. So this is also a new research area where work is going on. We will study its significance and steps in powder metallurgy as well as its application. So many a times a component or in alloy, two metals cannot be intermixed together at a low temperature. It requires certain high temperature, or at high temperature also it is difficult to mix them thoroughly or homogeneously. In that case we are using this powder metallurgy, and it is also having a large tremendous amount of applications that we will see in this chapter. The methods of powder manufacturing, mixing, blending, compaction, and sintering, these are the processes which are to be done in the powder metallurgy. Mixing, blending, powder manufacturing, then compaction method, and sintering, these are the methods, these are the processes which we are doing in the powder metallurgy. Then we will see the typical powder metallurgy applications and their flow charts. Typically we will see the 3 applications. First one is a self lubricating bearing, second cemented carbide cutting tool, and third is a friction material. These 3 applications in detail with their flow charts we will see in this chapter. So this is the 6th chapter, introduction to powder metallurgy. Now we have seen the 6 chapters which are there in the syllabus. First is introduction to ferrous alloys, second heat treatment of the steel, third introduction to composite and nanomaterial, fourth introduction to non-ferrous alloys, fifth mechanical testing methods, and sixth introduction to powder metallurgy. These 6 chapters are based on the 3 branches of metallurgy, that is a extraction metallurgy, physical metallurgy, and third is a mechanical metallurgy. All these 3 types are covered in this syllabus. So after studying all this syllabus, you must be able to have the outcomes which we have discussed previously in this video. So thanks, we will see in the next video about what are the materials and what are the different properties of materials, what are types of materials, and what are the properties of metals only that are required, and that is a prerequisite for this metallurgy subject. Thank you.